Yo, what is up, Crockxen clan members, Nintendo fans, and others who have stumbled upon this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I initially wasn't going to make this video because there's a lot of people talking about it, and I didn't feel the need that I needed to do it too. But I decided to do it, and I'm probably going to regret it later, but I don't really care. So this is basically going to be my thoughts about the Nintendo E3 stuff that happened today. Might do it again tomorrow since they are doing another uh what is it, Treehouse Live. So I might do it then too. I might do another one tomorrow if this one does well enough for me to do another one. So we got a lot of stuff today. Honestly, I mean, probably gonna be called biased for this statement that I'm gonna make right now, but I think Nintendo won this year. Just saying. Um, Honestly, because I mean, don't get me wrong. I have owned from all three companies. I have owned. I have a PlayStation 2 and a PSP, and I do have an Xbox 360. But I'm mainly a Nintendo user because I have owned since the 64. I have a 64. I have GameCube. I have Wii. I have a 3DS. I have a regular DS. I actually have two of them. Um, but one's kind of like messed up already. And then I have a Game Boy SP. Um, and I really want a Wii U because I don't have one yet. But anyways, so like Xbox, like Microsoft, like yeah, it was okay, but I honestly didn't care for any of the games. And I'm not planning on buying an Xbox One anytime soon, anyways. I felt like Sony was a little weak. I haven't owned a PlayStation since PlayStation 2. So it's not like I expected too much from there. Oh yeah, I also owned PlayStation 1. That was like my first console. But anyways, that's regardless. Um, so like it's not like I mean I did. There was a lot of games in PlayStation 3 I wanted, but I didn't have money to buy a PlayStation 3. Um, but regardless, I wasn't planning on buying a PS4 anyways. Um, so mainly, like, yes, I was going in knowing that to be quite honest, I was only gonna care for the Nintendo stuff because I only really play Nintendo consoles, and mainly Nintendo games. Um, so like I wasn't really like wowed by all the Xbox stuff, or the PlayStation stuff. But I will say Microsoft did better than Sony this year. It was actually surprising to a lot of people. I have friends who were looking forward to the Sony stuff, and they were disappointed. I know people who are mainly Sony fans who honestly feel like Microsoft did better. So, you know, I don't know. But I honestly, like, to be honest, like, I was like on Nintendo all day long. Like, I honestly feel like I was just all day today watching Nintendo stuff. So we start off with the direct. We got to see some trailers. It was a lot of fun. I honestly think this is way better than last year's. It was a little shorter than I thought. I mean, I had heard it was going to be an hour and 30 minutes. It was only like 47 minutes or something like that. So, I mean, I was a little disappointed because I was looking forward to this long old presentation, um, or this long old direct thing. But it was still not bad. It wasn't bad. Like, we got to see some character reveals. We got to see the Mii. Um, the Mii character is available for Super Smash, and so is Palutena, which I was like, oh, cool. And then the Mii itself has three versions. There's like the swordsman, there's the fighter, and then there's like I think it was like a gunfighter or something like that. And they all have like their special classes, since they're all separate, so they all have their unique fighting styles and unique moves and all that stuff. Thought that was cool. I still don't understand because they said you could play as anybody. So how I still don't understand how you integrate your Mii into the game. Um, but it was still cool. We got to see. I'm honestly disappointed with the Pokemon stuff. One, people were talking about how Pokemon Fighter was going to show up, and I was kind of waiting for that, but they didn't say anything about it. And then Pokemon Omega Ruby, I was kind of disappointed because all we got was, hey, look, it's basically, we got to see the starter selection screen, which is literally the same ones from X and Y. Like literally, it looks exactly the same from X and Y. We got to see the mega evolutions of like the starters mega evolving in the game, and then the ancient de-evolution for Kyogre and Groudon. And then we got to see some gameplay. I'm still I'm still like um okay, the whole thing about the gym leaders. Why don't they have 3D models in battle? Why? Well, I mean, we didn't get to see everything, but we saw like Roxanne, and she looks a lot slimmer. And but all they did was like the same things that happened in X and Y, where when you face the gym leader, all you would see is this flat picture of them, and that's it. Like I want to see them like in battle, like we did with because they showed Archie and Maxie, and them throwing a Pokeball. So like they have models for them. Why can't they have models for the gym leaders? So I'm hoping that this is just for now, and then when the games comes out, they do have 3 models. But that's not the only thing. We got to see some Bayonetta 2 stuff. Looks cool. They're actually releasing a bundle where you can get Bayonetta 2 with Bayonetta 1, and there's also like some Nintendo outfits and stuff that I thought was pretty cool looking. Honestly, if I did have a Wii U and I could afford a Wii U, I should say, I would get that game. And then one of the big ones that I was really like, I was just stunned. Like I don't know why I like it so much, but it's this one called Splatoon, which is it's a shooter, but it's a I can't say fun shooter because people think that Call of Duty is a fun shooter, and I don't think it's a fun shooter. Um, it's kind of like paintball. You're throwing. I honestly think it is ink. Because they are squids. Basically you're the only thing they showed was like this multiplayer online match. It was a 4-on-4. And basically you're in this arena, this area, and you're trying to cover everything with your color. They showed like orange, pink, blue, green. I don't know if that's all the colors. But you're trying to spray paint or spray the ink or paint whatever all over the area, trying to cover as much ground as you can. And at the end, like you have a specific time limit. When time's up, they compare the map basically, and then whoever had the most wins, and it's always by percentages. Um, and then like the way they said you have a gamepad. On the gamepad, you have a map that shows you the progress. So let's say you're Team Green and you're facing Team Blue. Well, you can see the map on the gamepad, and you can see like the whole map is here. You can see this whole side is blue and this whole side is green, and then the middle is like split up, and then later on when you're watching the game, you see that your area where your green was, it now has blue splotches around it. It's supposed to be like real time. So basically, while the game is going on, the map will constantly change colors in certain areas depending on where you're shooting the thing. So I thought that was cool. It made me question the ability of having local. I don't know. I honestly don't remember, or I didn't hear if they said there was local play because the main thing I saw was online, or the online stuff. But it looks cool. Also, they have this feature. I thought it was pretty nice when they were talking about it. Basically, when if you die, because you can't, I mean you die, and then you respawn. If there was a teammate near you, or let's just say you just died somewhere, you see a teammate is in trouble, you can actually click on your teammate, and then you will like you kind of bounce up and go across the map to where that person's at, and you can help them out. Now I said squids earlier. You're shooting as a person, but you can transform into squids, and you go inside the ink or paint, whatever. I'm gonna say ink because, like I said, there are squids. And then you can travel in the ink, and you're actually faster when you're in the ink, and you're able to maneuver all over the place. Like for example, they actually showed where he shot at the wall, and then like he turned into a squid, and he was actually climbing the wall. And there was also a part where there was like this fence, and then he shot across the fence, and he turned into the squid and went under the fence and over, and then continued shooting around. Now they only count the floor as points, but you can't shoot. You can shoot in a variety of places, and you can maneuver in a lot of different ways when you're the squid. Um, and they also showed like there was one where he was hiding in the ink, like there was a splotch of paint or a splotch of ink, he was hiding there, and then somebody walked over, and then he got up and shot him. Just because he was hiding there. Also, that's how you refill the ink thing. So I don't know. I thought it was cool. We saw some gameplay of it. I thought it was awesome. We saw a bunch of other stuff. We saw some Yoshi stuff. The Yoshi game, it's I don't even know how to feel about it. Um, I mean, it looks okay, but I really didn't care too much for Kirby's Epic Yarn. It's supposed to be like somewhat similar to that. Then we got Captain Toad, which if you played 3D Land or not 3D Land, 3D World, there were certain areas where a little like mini game with Toad would show up, Captain Toad technically, and it would be like a puzzle, and then you have to try to go around and try to get all the stars before time ran out. So they're basically making a new game with that concept. You're Captain Toad, and you're going around different puzzles and trying to reach the star at the end. Um, and it's the same thing. You move around with the thing, or move the camera around to see at different angles. He still can't jump, which means you got to solve different puzzles to try to get to certain places, certain areas. Try to get up and up and up. You get to the area. I thought that was nice, but I mean, a full game, like maybe like when I first saw it, I thought it was DLC. But then I was like, this is Nintendo, and then they said it was a real game, and then I'm like, why not make it just an eShop title? Like, why does it have to be like a full like game? Then we got some Hyrule Warriors stuff. We got two new character confirms. One was Zelda, which technically everybody knew she was gonna show up. We saw some of her stuff. She looks pretty cool. And then we had Midna from Twilight Princess. That was cool as well. They also said there's a bunch of other characters that are in the game. So that I mean, it's a Dynasty Warrior game, technically. So they need, or it's supposed to be a mix between Dynasty Warriors and Zelda. So they have to have a lot of characters because Dynasty Warriors is all about that, having massive characters fighting massive amounts of enemies. So, but it looks cool. It looks cool. That they play really cool. I'm not gonna lie. What else? What else? When they were talking about Super Smash, they talked about this thing called Amiibo, which is like it's basically like the Skylanders and Disney Infinity stuff, but it's like little toys. But the way they talked about it is, they have uh, these chips inside, this micro memory stuff, where it'll actually record data on it, and you can actually like for like customized moves. Um, like the way they started the live event or the direct the digital event. Yeah, that's what it was called. It was Reggie versus Iwata, and then when Mario showed up, he was doing this weird moveset. Like it was customized, meaning that I guess that's what it is. You put the data in there, you customize your character, and you can take it anywhere. I don't know. That sounds pretty cool, but I feel it's like a little unfair for those who don't have the gamepad. But what can you do about it, right? Um, we also got to see Zelda Wii U, which we knew it was gonna be talked about, and it looks nice. I know people are probably. I don't know why. I heard somebody talking that people were complaining. It looks great. I don't know what the heck is the problem. It looks beautiful. Uh, when they were talking about how you can explore even beyond what you see, like I remember when they were doing the interview afterwards, in the treehouse part of it, they were saying, "Do you see those? You see those mountains? You can get over there. You can reach there." And I was like, "That sounds cool. That sounds cool." Because the way they were talking about it is he was talking about how like back in the original Zelda games, you would go across the stage, and then you would go and it would expand, and it would be another area, and you would go again, and then it would be another area, but they're all interconnected, which is something that he wanted in this new game. So he felt like because it's 3D, it's going to be open world, but it'll have that effect of where you see a place, you can get to it, and then it'll be bigger and more expanding, and then it's all gonna be connected, all one area. So I don't know. It looks nice. It looks beautiful. I was talking to my best friend. And I was like, where is this gonna fit? Because this link looks. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, but because it looks nice, it looks cool. But I'm like, where does this link fit in the timeline? Because that when he used that bow and arrow, that thing looked sick, but it looked really advanced. So I was like, are we gonna go like futuristic timeline type of stuff? Like we're just gonna go far into the future or what? We were just debating on where this thing goes. I don't know. It looks nice though. It looks really cool. Um, and then the playhouse or the treehouse thing, we got to see some Xenoblade Chronicles X. That's what the new game is called. It looks sick. I'm not gonna lie. If honestly, if I had a Wii U, I've never played Xenoblade before in my life. But I wouldn't mind giving it a try. Um, what is it? They were talking about this thing called Mario Maker, where it's basically make your own Mario game. You were able to switch between old school Mario style or old school Super Mario and new school Super Mario, and then you can it's basically like a create your own level. I thought it was nice, but it's not something I really care about because I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't care for it too much. We got to see some Art Academy. Devil's Third is apparently coming to Nintendo for some reason. We also got confirmation of Mario Party 10, where you can actually play as Bowser, which I was like, wow. We got a new Mario vs. Donkey Kong game. Um, they showed these two. I don't remember what they were called. Um, what is it? It was like a giant robot kind of game. I don't know. It looked kind of weird. They said it was still in development, but I honestly didn't like it very much. Basically they were using the gyroscope on the Wii U gamepad. Basically like just giant robot, and you're fighting another giant robot. And the way they explained it was like it's kind of like sumo. You have to knock your opponent down and you win. But it looked so weird the way they're moving. Cause I don't know. I don't know. It was just weird. I didn't like it very much. Because they were throwing like he was throwing punches, but the punches weren't really doing much. And the way they said it afterwards, like it's not really about the power of the punch. It's more about like being able to like just drop your opponent down after you extend your arm. I don't know. It looked really weird. I'm not gonna lie, it looked really weird. And then they had another one, which actually I thought it was cool, but I saw a big issue with it. It was like this. It was like a tower defense. I mean, not tower defense. Well, you can think of it like that. You're basically in this base. It has a core in the middle. You have a total of 12 cameras that you can place in different areas with different angles. And then when you start the game or when you start the level, mini robots start coming in, or mini robots and different types of robots start coming into the area, and then on the TV screen, and then you can see, or on the gamepad, uh, the cameras shoot lasers, and they're supposed to destroy the robots before they get to the core. The thing is, on the screen, you have the center. The center is the current camera you're using, or the current camera you're looking through, and then around it, it's all the different options for each camera. You can't keep track of 12 cameras at the same time. And the way they did it while they were presenting it, they had everybody in the audience start shouting out numbers, which not only confused the guy that was playing because they didn't know which one he had to go to. The fact that you need outside help to be able to play this game, it seems kind of bad if you're by yourself, meaning that you can't play this game unless you have like at least two people there. They did try to say, oh, you could be playing it and maybe your mom shows up and then she's like, oh, look at that one, and then you see it and you do it. But I mean, if you were expecting it to be where somebody just randomly shows up and shouts out, hey, look in this camera, I would have expected less cameras because 12 is a lot for one person to keep track of, especially. I mean, it's a big screen. I mean, well, depending on your TV. If you have a small TV, then it's no problem. But if you're playing on a big TV, you can't keep track of 12 cameras at the same time. Your eyes can't go like this So I mean, it looks cool, but I feel like it has to be like a party game where you have like a bunch of people over, and then you're or one of them is in the is the one playing, and then you have everybody else shouting, hey, go to number five, or go to number seven, or number three is in danger, or stuff like that. It looks nice, but it feels like it'd be difficult by yourself. We have a Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright stuff, which I don't know. It's not that I don't care. It's just that I've never played either one of these franchises, so it's not like it really affects me very much. Um, and just a bunch of it was just a bunch of stuff that was announced. Sonic Boom, we got to see some of that. That looks pretty cool. I can't wait for that game, but again, I don't have a Wii U, so it's not like it matters if I'm excited for it or not. Um, we had a bunch of indie stuff, like a bunch of small eShop titles that's shown. We got a new Kirby on the way. Um, which I was like, what the heck is going on? I saw it and I was like confused on what was happening. Like I honestly didn't know what was happening. And then the thing that I know people know it. I know people caught it. I don't know if people like everybody caught it, but they hinted at Star Fox game for the Wii U. I don't know. I think it was a leak or something like that. I know they said it in the interviews. They were talking about there may be a Star Fox game in development right now, but we're not gonna show anything until next year. So for Star Fox fans, it's confirmed. You guys have a game coming. Um, so hooray! I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, I don't like I said. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting it, but it depends how it is and how it looks and how it feels, how it plays. Anyways, um, so we got to see a bunch of stuff, a bunch of trailers, a bunch of games like that. And then the big finisher, which, like I said, I think this is why Nintendo won because not only did they have all that stuff, they had this. This is the thing, and it was the Smash tournament, which was freaking sick. I'm not gonna lie. They showed us the 16 competitors when they were like they did this whole video thing where they showed the 16 players getting there. They practiced with the game a bit, and then they had to draw from a number, and then they got to pick a character. And they did that, and then we got to see the announcers, and then basically everybody. There was so many fans there. They were just so loud, and it was so cool. And I was like, I wish I had been there. Honestly, I wish I had. That looked like it was so exciting and so fun, and just the the just the emotion, everybody's energy. I honestly would have loved to have been there, just shouting my head off because of how cool it was. And how just the energy that was there. I was like, dang, I wish I had been there. Um, but anyway, so we got to see they all got these little notebook looking things that had like 20, I think 20 characters in there, and like they could choose, hey, I like this one or whatever. Um, and they explained later on what it was about. But anyway, so the Smash tournament started. They were gonna do it. Quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and then the grand finals. So they were gonna be playing in fours, and it was gonna be four matches. Then three. No, wait. Hold on. No, it was. I honestly don't even remember right now. So stupid. No, it was four. It was gonna be two for each, so there was gonna be eight that were coming out of there, and then it was four that came out of that one. So it was four, two, two, one. There we go. And they had some in between stuff. But anyway, so they announced all the people that were coming out. They announced the first four. They were playing the Wii U version. They were using GameCube controllers, all four of them. So that honestly confirms the whole extension thing for the GameCube controller. Um, and the fact that you don't need the gamepad or whatever. So I thought that was cool. We got to see the fights were amazing. I'm not like I'm usually not a person that likes to watch people play Smash or games like that because then I'm like I wish I could be doing that. But they were just so amazing, and everybody screaming in the background just made me not even care. I was just excited just watching it, and made me want the game even more. Um, but they were awesome. The thing that the cards. Okay, so this is what the notebook thing was. Every after every match, they obviously had a winner, and then they always had a second winner. Like it was like I said, two people came out in the beginning, or it was supposed to be two people that moved on. Um, so what they did was, um, oh my gosh, what they did was, if there was a tie, obviously there was a clarified winner. But if there was a tie between like two characters that had the same amount of kills or whatever, um, they would have the fans decide who would move on. So whoever they thought or whoever they liked more, basically got a free move on. And then not only that, they also got to pick which one of the four characters that were in the match um, was considered their fan favorite, and they had this whole vote. I honestly don't know how they counted those votes because there was a lot of people there and there was a lot of cards. I don't know what the heck they were doing. But then there was a fan favorite, and then they will have a match after the first round, after the quarterfinals. They had a match, basically fan favorites going at each other, and that became its own separate tournament. Um, Semifinals were awesome. The finals were great. We got to see some game. What is it? Um, news. People who talk about games, gosh, like we had a representative from IGN, we had a representative for Game Informer, we had a representative for somebody in a magazine in Germany, and then we had one for Japan, and they all went at it. And then before the grand finals, we had some celebrities come out. Honestly, did not know any of them except, I mean, I don't know her, but she's apparently in Nintendo commercials, so I've probably seen her plenty of times before. Who knows? But they had this one guy who apparently is from Pretty Little Liars. I don't watch that crap. And then we had her, which is sorry, Zelda. Her name is why is I don't know if that was like a nickname or something, but if it is her real name, that's pretty cool. And then some other guy that I've never heard of before, and some other chick I've never heard of. I honestly didn't know any of these guys, so I don't know. But they were there. And then they had a match, and then that happened. And the grand finals were so exciting. Like I was like on the edge of my seat watching that. I was so hyped. Like it was so close. It was the final match was Kirby versus Zero Suit Samus. And it was Kirby took the first kill, like Zero Suit Samus down, and then she came back, and it was Kirby out, bam, and then he came back, and then Zero Suit out, and then Kirby, and then Zero Suit, and Kirby, and then they were like there, like one stock left, and then they were going at it, and like time is like coming down, coming close to the wire, and then they were fighting right, and then like it was more like Zero Suit was trying to hit him from afar to get distance, because Zero Suit has longer range than Kirby, but Kirby kept like what is it, block grabbing, and then did a like smash against the ground. I kept doing that, and then like Zero Suit was like so close, like it was probably gonna be like one big hit and or one medium hit would have knocked her off. Um, and so like she was like at I think it was like 98% or something like that. And Kirby was only like a 30, 35 or something like that, and it was so close. And then the timer was like slow, or it was like going down. It was like 5, or like it was like around the 10-second mark, and like it was like crazy. And then Zero to Samus like no, and then like he got I think like another hit in on Kirby, and then Kirby tried to hit him, and then like he just jumped off, and like he grabbed himself onto the ledge, and it was like 5, 4, and then he like Kirby's like walking over there, and like he just jumps off as soon as time jumps out or time runs out, so he doesn't get hit. And since he doesn't fall, it's sudden death. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then like it still wasn't like like that. It wasn't like bam. No. Like they were still trying to avoid each other. And then like Kirby, it looked like Kirby grabbed her. I'm like, and then I don't know what the heck she did, but she was able to knock him the freak out of there. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It was so crazy. Um, So it was amazing. It was, and then Reggie came out, and it was cool. We actually got to see Sakura in the beginning. He did this whole thing, thanking everybody for showing up, and then Reggie came out and he thanked everybody for coming out, saying that this was for the fans, this was for them to enjoy, hinting at maybe there might be one next year. Like he literally said it. He's like, "What? This went way better than we thought. So maybe we'll do this again. Maybe we'll take it on the road. Who knows?" But it was cool. It was cool. And then like the second place winner, he won. Like it was funny. Like this was funny because they both got their trophies and everything. But he walks up to Reggie. He's like, "Can I ask you something?" He's like, "Oh, you want to ask me something? Sure, go ahead. You want to ask something?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." He's like, "1-on-1 right now for glory. Let's go." And then Reggie's like, "Oh no, no, no. I honestly I can't. I play every like this is a quote, a direct quote. Like I play every Nintendo game, but I suck at Super Smash." And and everybody's like, "Oh, come on." He's like, "But now it's on the 3DS, and I can take it wherever I want. I can play it and practice as much as I can, and I'm gonna kick your ass next year." And I'm like, "Oh!" And everybody's like, "Oh!" And it was just so crazy. It was so fun. It was a great time. I honestly had a great time. I did. It was great. Nintendo, you honestly win E3 for me, and that's not even being biased. Maybe it is. I don't know. You guys decide. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Like I said, if enough people care about me and my thoughts, I might do it again tomorrow because they are doing. I think it was a roundtable discussion for Super Smash and a bunch of other like Treehouse stuff that's gonna happen tomorrow and some coverage and stuff. So maybe I'll do one tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know. It's up to you guys. So, thank you guys for watching. Leave your thoughts, comments down below. Let me know what you thought about Nintendo. Out of the three right now, who won for you guys? Was it Microsoft? Was it Sony? Or was it Nintendo? Leave it down below. Let me know. And I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow with another video like this, or maybe tomorrow, or well, definitely tomorrow because I'm uploading a video that I haven't up that you guys will see it when I do it. But and then I might do like a walkthrough video or something like that for Pokemon. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.